Hey everyone, Jeff with the Death Star Human Resources Department newsletter podcast edition. I'm joined today by my new friend Reychel of Jakku. All right. So Reychel, dive right in. You recently went somewhat viral, at least in the Star Wars universe, showing up outside of Disney headquarters in Southern California dressed up as Rey.
I did, yes.
Uh, Start with, for those who haven't seen it, this is this is you.
It's me. I was wearing a wig. I naturally have blonde hair.
Okay. So, I guess for those who may not know what's going on, if you haven't been following the news, it's a few weeks ago. It was turned out that there was a script written for a Kylo Ren Ben Solo movie, tentatively titled The Hunt for Ben Solo. It was presented by Adam Driver, and Steven Soderbergh was attached maybe as a director. It went up the chain with Disney. Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, and Carrie Beck, I believe, all signed off on it, only to be killed by Bob Iger, the CEO of the Walt Disney Corporation, who said, of all reasons to kill it, because Kylo Ren / Ben Solo was dead.
Yeah.
I wonder if Bob Iger has ever seen a Star Wars before, because death is just kind of it's a temporary state.
Especially with that character too, because we saw him fade to nothing and then we never saw his force ghost. So for me, that means he could be somewhere. We don't
Right.
know where. So
Right.
when I left that film, Rise of Skywalker, I was sad, of course, but then I was like, oh, he's got to be out there somewhere. So especially hearing that Adam Driver was spearheading this hunt for Ben Solo, I was like, I knew it. He's alive. He's out there somewhere. And then only to hear Bob Iger say, oh no, I don't understand. Like, how is it possible that he's alive? And like you said, like there's so many cases in Star Wars where they bring characters back. Like Darth Maul was cut in half and thrown down a chute, but he came back.
Even better than ever with robotic spider legs.
Yes, I know. My favorite Darth Maul is spider legs. Darth Maul.
All right, so I want to talk about, though, so fans have been, this is probably the most united I think the fan base has been in quite a while. I think there was a billboard in Times Square, where's Ben Solo? There were people who were putting, like missing children posters up with Adam Driver's face on it. I think there were planes that buzzed both the Disney meetings in New York and in LA or Southern California, with a Where's Ben Solo or Save Ben Solo banner behind the plane. But I think you were the first in-person person to do this.
Not the first. There
No.
was a meetup in New York City at their Disney headquarters. So there was a group of people there. It sounds like there was some talks about that one, but not nearly as much as the one that I was involved with. But yes, there's definitely people out there who are meeting up and trying to get this film like greenlit, because that's all what we all want.
Yeah, I think it is. And I read that this was the first time a fully written Star Wars script. This wasn't even, we have an idea for this, that a fully written Star Wars script was presented, and at least within Disney, and turned down. And I found that a little shocking, just because, they want the Rey movie is out there, which is, on its like third or fourth writer. There's all these ideas that are out there that are in various states of development. And I guess I just thought it was a little surprising that they're like, hey, we have a full movie ready to go. The star is, he wants to do this. And just be like, eh.
Yeah, I definitely was so shocked and very, very sad. So it was actually really great, because when I heard the news, I was just like sad and angry and all the emotions. And so I found this group that has been behind a lot of these things that you've seen, like the missing posters and stuff like, and then the meetups. So it was really cool talking to them and like hearing about this stunt that they wanted to do, where Rey was going to go to the Burbank Disney headquarters by herself, solo, as you will. with the "Where's Ben Solo" sign,
Oh,
and I do cosplay, and I as Rey from the Rise of Skywalker. It's probably one of my favorite looks of hers, and so I was like, I've got the outfit, like please let me help in any way, and so yeah, we were able to pull off the stunt, and it was like midday, like noon to one, I want to say. And it was 95 degrees and very, very hot. But it was amazing. Like the reception for employees that were turning into the driveway were so nice. A lot of people smiling and waving and taking photos and stuff like that. And I was, like I'm a big sequels fan. And as a sequels fan, I've gotten a lot of like animosity. And so I was definitely concerned about that, but I definitely had the opposite, which was so lovely. And like you said earlier, I really do feel like this film is uniting fans, like whether you're a Reylo fan or whether you're a sequels fan or whether you just like Kylo himself and want to see
mhm.
that character get developed further. There's like so many different people that want to see this film, and I really think it would having it greenlit would further unite the fandom.
I think so, and I think redemption stories are such a big part of Star Wars that it's a little surprising to me that they didn't take this one up, and I think especially kind of the Dave Filoni Star Wars stories. I think somebody being redeemed is such a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Family is such a big part of it, and I think it would be a great opportunity. You could see Ben, come to terms with, he fell to the dark side. He killed his dad, and like,
Mm-hmm.
you have a second chance. What do you do with it?
Yep. I totally agree. I mean, we've seen redemption in many ways with Star Wars, but what we don't see very often is the living redemption. A lot of it is like immediate death redemption.
Hmm.
And I would love to see what redemption looks like, especially with Ben and going through, I would imagine, feelings of guilt and anger. And how do you get through all of those emotions and
Hmm.
come to terms with what you've done and who you are trying to be moving forward?
I thought it would also, and I wrote about this a little bit. If they're going to do a Rey New Jedi Order movie, I thought it would be a good way to kind of tie the two together, because
We've got a dyad without her dyad.
exactly, how do you have like a dyad but only make one movie out of it?
Yeah, totally.
But I thought, it gives a good chance that, Rey has to figure out, how do I rebuild the Jedi Order when turns out I'm a Palpatine. Like, how do you wrestle with that? And Ben wrestling with, whatever feelings he has of, guilt, redemption, whatever it is. And the
Hmm.
two movies just, I think, would really flow together really well.
I totally agree. And I what I like about that duality of like the darkness inherent, as having a Palpatine ancestry, and then also being a Jedi would be so cool because like that's what the Jedi are is a balance of the Force within them.
Hmm.
They're not just the light side of the Force because all humans have dark and light sides to them, and I would love to see her try to find that balance, but I think it's kind of hard to have a balance when you're not whole.
And I mean, you got to have Ben if she's going to be whole.
Exactly.
All right, so I want to go back a little bit. So you're out there for about an hour, and
Hmm.
did any kind of Disney employees come up to you, or is it just kind of people going in?
Nope, just people going in and people driving by.
Any were there any negative reactions?
Not that I saw. Nobody was like looking at me angrily. There was a lot of confusion. Um, I guess you don't see Ray on the streets
No.
every day. But no, it was all positive. It was so kind. I did have a couple of employees come up and they're like, "Oh my God, like I'm so excited to see you here." And they asked if I was the one behind the Ben Solo missing posters, and I told
Hmm.
them not me per se, but someone within the group that I'm in is. And yeah, it was pretty surreal. And especially now to hear like it's kind of like that photo has been everywhere on the
Hmm.
internet, and also seeing all the positive comments has been amazing too. And all good feelings.
That was kind of going into my next question. Is like, what kind of reaction have you gotten personally from people?
Yeah, fantastic. All very kind. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, I can't believe you were so brave to do that." And for me, a lot of times with cosplay, I kind of like take me, Rachel, and I put her over there and I
Hmm.
become this other entity. And I think that's what cosplay costume playing, right? And so I don't know. And I've also done cosplay for a really long time. So I don't get the same like, oh no, I'm wearing a weird outfit. I'm just like, I don't know. It's just another Tuesday. So yeah, a lot of really great feedback, and what I love too is it really helped to spread the awareness of the Hunt for Ben Solo movement and the movie. Yeah, I hope eventually it does become greenlit.
I hope so. So, is there is for the movement that you're in?
Mhm.
Are there any further plans? Are you able to say? Are you sworn to secrecy?
I can't say the details, but there are plans for both coasts.
All right.
Hmm.
I mean, if you guys want to come to Texas, it's finally cool enough now. You can do some cosplay.
Okay, definitely.
So I kind of branching off of that. So how did you get into doing cosplay? We talked a little bit beforehand, and I said I'm always really impressed by people who do it, just because the level of detail and the level of like knowledge that people have about these costumes is just I find it fascinating.
Yeah, I've been wearing costumes pretty much my whole life. I was a Ren Fair kid, and so
Okay.
I would go to Renaissance Fair and I'd either make my own costumes or purchase ones. So that's kind of like where the seeds started. And then my really big childhood film was Lord of the Rings. So I did a lot
Okay.
of Lord of the Rings costume making, and I would go to conventions, and then it just merged into Star Wars. Star Wars for me has been like this weird, like I was originals fans, and when the prequels came out, I was less so of a fan, and then the sequels came back up again. Um, and then, so with the sequels, I was like, oh my God, Rey Skywalker, her outfit is super amazing. So I would love to cosplay as that one. And so, yeah, it really like snowballed from there. And I've cosplayed as Asajj Ventress and
Hmm.
some Night Sisters. I'm currently working on Bo Katan, and yeah, I love it. And I've been to Star Wars Celebration a few times, and it's what I love about it. Cosplaying the best is the community, and like you meet other cosplayers who are also passionate at the same level that you are,
Hmm.
and it's just a lot of fun.
I like seeing too kind of the I guess I call it like the creative spins that people do. Like we were talking about. I went to Rebel ScumCon
Yeah.
earlier this year, and there was a guy with a Admiral Akbar costume, but it was
Mm.
a admiral like that Russell Crowe Master and Commander movie, like a
Oh my
British Navy
God.
admiral, and
I love it.
it was just such a cool idea, and everybody was really cool too. Like, if you went up to somebody like, "Hey, can I either get a picture with you? Can I take a picture?
Hmm.
Whatever." Like, I didn't see anybody that was a jerk about it.
Totally.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool.
So are
And
you going to be cosplaying soon?
I have been trying to figure out oh, part of one of the canon truths on the Death Star Human Resources Department newsletter
Yes.
is we are a Darth Jar Jar truther newsletter.
Oh my God, I love it.
So I've been kicking around a Jar Jar mask is pretty easy to find. It's
Hmm.
kind of the hands and the feet
Okay.
that I don't think they really made. So I kind of thought, if it's Darth Jar Jar, you can cheat a little bit and just wear black boots and black gloves.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's so
Oh,
great. I love this idea.
yeah. So I'm thinking, this next what is it? Next August, the next Rebel
Hmm.
Scum Con. I may have to at least do one day as Darth Jar Jar.
Yes, that's a great character.
So we kind of talked about this a little bit beforehand. So how long? You mentioned you're working on Bo Katan. Like, how long has
Hmm.
that been taking you?
Yeah. Um, I've been working on this costume for 3 years, and I started off buying the armor and doing all the painting, and then quickly realized I did it all incorrectly and needed to repaint it.
No.
It's how it goes. A lot of the information I had at the time was just not quite right. I mean, it's fine. And then then my favorite part of cosplay is the research. So I'll go and I'll find all the photos.
Mm-hmm.
And what was great for me is Star Wars Celebration was in Anaheim that year. And so my friend was able to get a bunch of photos of Bo-Katan's costume that was there.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't be there because I was actually taking photos with Ewan McGregor. I chose Ewan McGregor over Bo-Katan photos, as one does.
As one does.
Yes. So yeah, I do all the notes and try to figure out where I can source a lot of my materials. And what I quickly realized is that Bo-Katan is really out of my costume league, and I have done a lot of research on trying to find vendors that make it. And what's been really great is supporting these small businesses that have found their niche making these costumes. And there's some small businesses that just do her armor, or some that just do the leather work for her. And so it's been really great contacting these people, and they're all so nice. And I'll tell them, hey, like I need this costume, and it needs to be for season 3 or her season 3 look. And yeah, it's coming together. I think my armor will be finished and complete by the end of December. So I should hopefully by 2026 have brand new costume to
I was going to say, you only
run
have
around
about
in.
you only have about what, 18 months till Celebration 2027?
Yeah. I'm hoping I can wear her at least for, we've got a couple local cons. There's WonderCon, I would love to wear her to. Or if not that, I'd love to wear her to, I liked going to a Disneyland Star Wars night, so I might wear her for that too. So I've got a couple like pre-events before Star Wars Celebration, but she's 100% going to Star Wars Celebration.
I'm hoping, I've never actually been to a Celebration, but my goal is definitely to go for the 2027 one.
Yes.
So maybe Darth Jar Jar will be there as well.
Oh, fantastic.
I always wonder too, just for those cons, like what the TSA agents think is for the people who have to travel. I mean,
So, yeah, I mean, I have Rey's lightsaber, so I bring that in on airplanes. It was actually coming back to the States, going through Japan's TSA, where they were like, literally like, what is this? And of course, there's a language barrier too. And I was like, I had they were confused by the blade because the blade couldn't connect to my lightsaber. So I had the blade on one spot and then the lightsaber hilt in another. And they were like, what is this plastic bulb looking thing? And so I was like, wait. And I pulled out the hilt and I put it together, and he goes, Star Wars? And I'm like, yeah. So he finally like let me through. But I have heard of issues where you are like, people have a hard time bringing lightsabers through TSA.
I mean,
It does say on their website that you can, so just FYI.
I know. I think it was Diego Luna had the story of like after Andor of trying to smuggle his blaster back, and I don't remember if it was British, like the British airline security, or when he got back into the States, whichever one it was, but had to explain like after the wrap party, like no, I was Andor, like this is mine, it's okay. I'm not going to hijack a plane with a prop blaster.
No, totally. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So on that, and you kind of mentioned it, like what's kind of your Star Wars origin story?
My Star Wars origin story, I can't even remember how young I was. I was so young. My parents introduced me to A New Hope and the originals, and I want to say I saw them in theaters before the prequels came out. So really, those were like my films for such a long time, and I really liked Phantom Menace. Less so about Attack of the Clones. And kind of like, it was hard because Lord of the Rings happened at the same time. So for me, I was just like, I went on a whole Lord of the Rings journey. And like, Star Wars was always there for me, but it was kind of just like, oh yeah, Star Wars. But not until the sequels came out, and especially with like the Mandalorian season, honestly, with the one scene where Moff Gideon pops out with a dark saber, I was like,
so
what
good.
Is that? I need to know. And then I went on a Clone Wars journey, and the rest is history. I just kind of like dove off the deep end and have been here ever since, and I love it.
I don't think people realize like just how much you actually need to watch the Clone Wars.
I agree.
I remember because I would go in waves as well. How interested I was, and I remember I guess I was watching, I was at the theater to see Solo, and, at the end when Darth Maul pops up, and I hadn't watched the Clone Wars or Rebels.
Yes.
So I was like, wait, what is going on here?
I felt like I was the only one freaking out about Darth Maul being still alive, and everyone else was like, yeah, okay. And I was like, what am I missing?
Yeah, no, I definitely had the same reaction because I was just like, wait. And again, just to go back to how we started, death is temporary in Star Wars.
Exactly.
All right, Rachel. Well, I appreciate you talking with me.
You're welcome.
Any websites, anything you want to plug before we go?
I might need to. Definitely the hashtag, the hunt for Ben Solo. And then I'll have to send you the link to that website later. So forgive me on that one. Yeah.
We'll put all that in the show notes. All right. From Jeff, this is the Death Star Human Resources Department podcast. Come check us out, like, subscribe, and check out the main site at deathstarhr.com. And may the Force be with you.